Hello, I'm Nolan Chen, Partner Solutions Architect at AWS.
And hi, I'm Matt Meyer, Head of Solutions Engineering at Edge Delta.
Matt, in our last video, you showed how telemetry pipelines give customers control over security and observability in their own environment.
Yes.
Can you now give us a real-world example for a customer running telemetry pipelines in AWS?
Of course. So let's say you are looking to modernize your very traditional virtual machines run on-premise. And you're looking to move those workloads to the cloud. Here we'll do AWS EKS. In moving some of those workloads, you're obviously moving cloud native and you get all the benefits of the AWS ecosystem. But with that, with all of that additional compute that you're running, you will be emitting more telemetry data than ever before. So if you were to send all that to a Splunk, a Datadog, or any other third-party system, you would incur more cost than before. You also might expose PII or other data that you may not want to have ever leave your purveyance, and also you might be sending data that isn't useful in its current format. So this is where the idea of telemetry pipelines come in. So here, all of this is going to be run in your purveyance. So this is all of your environment, and what we will do is we will intercept that data in our pipelines where we can do things like redact PII data. We can analyze and understand its importance and criticality. We can enrich so that it's even better for your security or observability purposes. And we can even do data tiering and rehydration. So in this case, now that we're sending that data through our pipelines, and we'll say that we're assuming some of that traditional virtual machine data as well, let's send only 20% of that now to Datadog. What we're doing is we're only sending the errors or the critical alerts that you might need to that observability platform. Now for Splunk, we can send 50% of that for all of our security use cases and our forensics. And then we can send any other data to third party, whatever format it is, but we know that we've redacted any PII, we've analyzed and enriched it, and we're only sending the data that's most necessary to these other platforms. But the one thing I want to talk about is now with the power of AWS, we can even send a copy of that to S3. Now, why you'd want to do that is to have a full audit log and compliance purpose for all of that data that you are reducing before you send it to those other platforms. Meaning, you get incredible cost savings with each one of these before you ever egress it. And then in the event of an incident, let's say for Splunk you need the full fidelity copy of that data, we always allow for rehydration. So then you can continue to send that data to those only when necessary without incurring all of the costs of sending it all the time.
Thanks, Matt. So let me make sure I understand this. First of all, you've drawn this dotted line. So this is the customer's own environment, whether it's in AWS VPC or their own private on-prem data center. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And everything here outside the dotted line, these could be destinations outside of the customer's environment.
Absolutely. So this would be over the public internet.
Got it. So I understand that a key value here is cost optimization. You save money because you're not sending all the data to all the destinations at once.
Correct.
But what if later downstream you discover some of the data I've processed and filtered out earlier, I actually need it? Is that where the S3 comes in?
Yes.
You call it rehydration? Exactly.
So actually, I'll go draw that out. So in this case, this would be where we want to rehydrate these backend systems with data that wasn't pertinent or necessary at the time, especially for our alerting. But when we do get an alert for maybe a forensics analysis that we need to run within Splunk, we can then ask S3 for that data and then resend it back to Splunk to you have the richest set of data for your forensic purposes.
Awesome. So we have here now is your environment. You got control over these important processing operations, right? Giving you more security and control on AWS.
Correct.
Thank you, Matt.